Today marks the first time that anyone had ever said to me, you have cancer. I think you have cancer. So exactly 1 year ago, that was the fateful day that changed my life forever. And I am thoughtful today, and I have my tissues just in case, because they're here. I have a song to sing, and I won't be long, but I need to thank the people that have loved me, including you, because many, many, many of you have written notes and sent cards and gifts and financial support, and just been wonderful this last year. So, exactly 1 year ago, I had gone for a mammogram, and they had asked me back for a biopsy because they saw something. And so I went for an ultrasound and a biopsy, and they, on the spot, right after they had gone in, it was right here, they had gone in and prodded around and looked at it, and the doctor came back, and he gently put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, I would be surprised if it wasn't cancer. And I was like, oh my gosh. And Shane was there right next to me, and it was a wonderful experience, as cancer diagnosis can go. Interesting story. Right before that, I had a few months before that, I had met a really special lady in our church that I didn't know, and we got together with her, and she had told me that she was a radiologist. And I said, oh, I haven't had a mammogram. And she said, are you kidding? Go get checked. And so January was when I could finally, the stars aligned, and I got into the doctor. She was the first person I called after on our drive home, when the doctor had just said that. And she said, do you want me to help you? And I said, yes, because I don't know anybody. Who knows what to do with cancer if somebody says something like that to you? And so her name is Skylar, and Skylar got her team, and she put them together. They are in Edmonds, Washington, and if you don't know cancer, so she's a radiologist, so she does radiation. I didn't need it, so she could just kind of advise and help us through the rough patches, verbally on the phone. I had my oncologist, a medical oncologist is the person that gives you the chemo, and then a surgeon that cuts out the cancer. So those three ladies worked together, talking back and forth, discussing my case, looking at the diagnosis of what I had. I ended up having invasive ductal carcinoma, and it was a death sentence 30 years ago, because the type I had was called HER2 positive, which means that it feeds on the hormones, I think. And there's been a breakthrough, a really cool movie to watch. Is called Living Proof, and it's with Harry Connick Jr., and it's a great movie if you want to understand the process of cancer. But there's been a cure found within the last, not cure complete, but a huge success rate in my type of cancer. So between those three ladies and the type of cancer and the tremendous support that we had, I was diagnosed cancer-free after my double mastectomy, which was this summer. So I had the harsh chemo, the 6 rounds. They called it the napalm bomb of chemo, because they wanted to make sure that they got as much as they could. I had decided to do chemo first before my surgery, just because I wasn't exactly sure what kind of surgery I wanted. And then I ended up having something called a DIEP flap, DIEP flap, where they take parts of your tummy and they use it to rebuild your breasts. So they call them foobs, fake boobs, foobs. I have foobs. And I have one more surgery still coming up to help me with some of the things that are going on with my body, just nip and tuck kind of stuff to make it better. But my first thought when the doctor said that is, does this mean I can have a double mastectomy? Because I've always wanted to be small. I'm not small now. I'm bigger than I wanted to be. They had to move a lot of tissue to make sure that everything, the blood flow worked, and then they can whittle them down. Isn't that fun? And so that's where I am in my treatment. I go for immunotherapy, which is that medicine that I told you about that they just discovered. I go for that through March, and then I'm done until, well, I have to check in with a doctor for every 3 months, and 6 months after that, 3 months for a couple years, and then 5 months for a couple years. I think that's how it works. 6 months. So Shane has been there with me through it all. And if you have watched my blog or read my blog or watched any of the other videos, you know he's been right there beside me, working his ASS off for me in taking out the garbage and cleaning up things that no husband should ever have to clean up for his wife, and making the broccoli smaller when I was sick and didn't like how he presented the food to me. So first and foremost, I need to thank him. And then I need to thank those doctors, especially Skylar. And then I need to thank the Rains family, Paula and Steve and Jaden. They came through for me in a big way and allowed us to stay there for months, and very, very generous. And then my family came through during my surgeries, and they said, you can stay with us and we will take care of you. And so I got to know my family in a wonderful way that I haven't since I was a kid. And then, what else? Oh, the financial support, the things that you guys have done for us. It's amazing. It's amazing. I really loved not having cancer, not the treatment, but I love the experience of knowing the love that is for me in this world. And my prayer is that you know that too, and that you're moving towards that too, because it's the biggest gift I could have ever been given. So my fellow survivors, John Barry, still fighting, Brian, Karen and Sandy and Adele and Yvonne have all been super emotionally supportive and explaining what the process was to me and their friendship here on Facebook. And Carrie, who is the first person I ever really followed that had I think she had breast cancer. It was breast cancer. Thank you guys. We're loving you from afar and hoping that you are well. And now I am creating, as you probably have seen my posts. I have so much energy. I am building my muscle. I am coming back into life. I have been gaining weight because muscle is heavier than fat. That's right. And also, I'm getting ready for that next surgery. So I'm trying to build up quite a bit of my energy and get my level stabilized. Everything's back to normal for the most part. I'm still immunocompromised for a couple years because they really taxed me. That chemotherapy taxed my body as far as it could go without stopping chemo. And we got through, and I had a complete response. It's zero. I have 0 cancer cells that they can detect in my body. So, and there's one more thing. So I would like to thank my coach, Michelle. I'm working with her these days to help people find healing and a connection to their life in a deeper and better way. And I just really appreciate her and all that she has been to me and Shane. It was a supernatural thing. She came into our lives at the perfect time. She supported us emotionally and spiritually, and we are both better people and different people than we were a year ago. So the upsides of cancer, which there are many for me, is that I got a double mastectomy and I can have a boob job. They don't tell anybody. If you know somebody with cancer, don't say, can you get a boob job? I call mine a boob job because it's funny and I'm okay with that, but it's a very sensitive subject for other people. And I started a blog, realized I could write, wrote music, found myself, have a deeper connection with my heart and my soul and my internal things. Largely, thank you to Michelle for that, and Shane, and Ken and Dave, who have helped me move into my spirituality in a different way, in a rich way that has built on all of the principles of my youth, and I'm very grateful. And that's all, except for one other thing. This is my song. I sang it a year ago. It wasn't exactly a year ago. I think I took a couple days and wrote it. But this is my cancer song. Been thinking about the fish. His life is easy, he goes with the flow. He can't hold you with his hands. You never know which way he'll go. The fish says, jump into the water. There's an ocean of love. Nothing and everything is mine. And I wonder, 'cause it's a wonderful world. Jill, do you guys have sound? Please give me feedback, because Jill says there's no sound for this. Hi everybody, I've got some news to share. If I found you yesterday on the road somewhere, I can't hold you with my hands. There is sound. But my heart is right there. Cancer says, jump into the water. There's an ocean of love. You didn't mean to do the mad face, right? Nothing and everything is mine. And I wonder, 'cause it's a wonderful world. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you knowing my story and being interested in it. And if you're a praying person, please send light and love to my cousin today, who is finding out the course of her breast cancer. Have a good one, you guys. Now I'm going to clean the black off my eyes.